Hello and welcome back to round 17, for round 17. My F1 2013 Career Championship. I've already got the championship in hand. And here you see me drive into Q2. I did make it into Q3, but I elected not to set a time there. It's for an alternative strategy, since I wanted to start on the harder tires. But the game locked my tire choice in anyway. Even though I pre-selected the primes before I retired from the session, it still didn't care and put me on the primes anyway. So I have to dodge two guys here on my hot lap. Actually botched the first one on this set of tires. So the idea was to start on the primes before it starts getting dark, because I figured with this car especially, they're gonna be very, very shit when the sun goes down. And I wasn't gonna be wrong. Unfortunately, I couldn't change my strategy or couldn't pick a tire at all.
5 minutes. There are 5 minutes
So
of the
that's kind of
session remaining.
harmed my original race strategy. So let's see how will I recover that. Since I would be starting from 10th regardless of what my result here. Since I did not set the time, so I would have to do a very good first lap to sort of recover from the nastiness that was that particular moment there in time. So here we go to the end of the lap. 1:41.559. That was my Q2 time, so into first place and easily into Q3. I was hoping to do a strategy call, but unfortunately that wasn't meant to be. You'll see soon enough as we get into the car for the race. I actually put Park Fairmay off in the menu to see if I can pick the tire that I wanted to pick, but nope, I wasn't allowed to. But you won't see me change any setups. There you go. See, I wanted to go up like screw this game right now. So I'm sticking with the strategy, going with a lighter fuel load again. It does seem to help me in the opening stages of the race with a bit lighter car and a bit more grip. I reduced the original pit stop by 1 lap and pretty much keep the rest pretty much the same. Running the primes 1 lap longer shouldn't technically be an issue. So here we go. Vettel got pole position, Rosberg is second, Lewis Hamilton is third, Fernando Alonso is fourth, then Mark Webber in fifth, and Kimi Raikkonen in sixth, then Massa, Button, Perez, and then myself in 10th. Like I said, did not set a time in Q3 since I was hoping to be able to start on the harder tires instead of having to be forced onto the options for the openers, which in that case sort of made me a bit bummed out. It's, yeah, I couldn't do my alternative strategy. So here we see the rest of it. Very good qualifying by Sutil and Di Resta actually, in 11 and 12. Hülkenberg only 13th. And Bianchi the quickest of the back markers. So let's not waste much time and just go out to the track here. I'm just like going like, come on, why not? Easy game. And that's it. Let's go to track.
All complete.
And
We're
get
ready.
this race started up. This game doesn't have a pace lock. Just straight to the starting on the lines. Guess works well enough for a game like this.
Okay, we've already won the championship, so relax and enjoy this race.
4, 5 lights. And away we go. Good initial launch, but I keep it in the first a bit too long. Use a bit of curves. Nice. dive in the inside of the McLaren. He's still there to evade my own teammate there. And I'm right behind Felipe Massa. Back to the inside, and then outbrake just about everybody. A little rough and tough with the Ferrari. I think that's probably Alonso, and I sneak into third past Webber, and Alonso goes with me. I use just about all my curves to get up as quickly as possible, and it's a great first couple of corners. Got much more speed over Vettel. Break a bit later for them with the Red Bull, but it's not enough. Go a bit wide. Recover well enough. Use the rest of my curves to take that position. And it looks like Alonso's got them on the outside as well. Can he make that attack stick? It looks like he does. Alright, so Alonso takes third. Relinquishing Vettel back to fourth place. So I was very pleased with that opening lap. Salvaged what I could. If I qualified seriously, it probably would have been in an even better position. Probably out in front already, but going from 10th to 2nd in 2 sectors, that's not bad. Rosberg had a clean getaway, so he's actually a couple of seconds ahead of me already. Start of the race 2.8 to be exact. Alonso is 1.2 seconds behind me, so out of my DRS, which is of course ideal. The DRS is only engaged on lap 3. Check as wide as possible. It's full throttle in there. That will be full throttle when the 14 cars go a bit too wide on the curbs. The curbs are very dangerous on this track. You can attack some, but you can't attack others. So they will pull the car around or just get it hooked up, which is very dangerous. So it's hard to see if I'm getting on Rosberg. Cut the first corner nicely over the curb, and the second one still easy on the throttle. If you throw too much, it will throw the back away. It's going to be long, 55 laps in total. 2.4 seconds, so again about 4/10 there. I'm slower than them by quite a bit. In that first sector, surprisingly enough. Guess I lose it all. Lose that into turn 1 actually. And then I got a little bit higher downforce going on, opting for top speed. I am usually quicker or on the pace in the second sector, but I tend to be quicker in this third sector now. So as for the constructors, did a little of calculating behind it. There was a little notification that I could win the Constructors' Championship this race. And to do that, the team needs to be at least 86 points ahead of the number 2. So if I manage that, and that also of course depends on how well Kimi will do, and he seems to be quite a bit back. So small skip now, lap 3. Very small skip. Didn't have to skip. I'll double cut there, but it doesn't really matter. So we've caught up to Rosberg. Trying to confuse you all, I guess. Chasing down the number 2, or the number 1 driver. Mercedes, the game did offer me a contract for that team. There into twisty bits and brake right to his gearbox there almost. Closing the gap significantly.
We can't let this guy hold us up much longer.
So hopefully they can go for an overtake soon. And I set the fastest lap a little bit tighter there to 1:47.210. Very, very close to him already, so it should be an easy DRS pass. And I actually bump him to the back. I hold off the throttle a bit, but he gets very weird and wonky. I hit him again. I don't know what the heck he's doing. I just decided to go for the overtake and just leave it at that. So very oddly behaving Rosberg, going extremely slow there in the chicane and hairpin. Get the DRS. You can still see Mercedes had a better exit and a good top speed. Actually peaks a little bit. See it thinking about an overtake. Thinks better of it though. It's a move done. Well, let's see if Alonso can do anything as well soon. Goes behind him, not this time around. So I want to break Rosberg's toe as quickly as possible. So here we go on lap 6. 2 laps after that pass on Rosberg. Alonso still behind him. And there you can see it in the mirror happening, maybe slightly on the outside. So he has the inside for the next one, and he's made the pass, so a very good job by Alonso going into second place. Now that of course will have cost them some bit of time, hopefully. Yep, 1.9 seconds is the gap, so I do have a small margin, but it's not very large in these opening stages. Lap number 8. Smash the DRS sign because I can. Just a little moment there. Lap number 10. That's the gap, 1.7. So Alonso has been slowly nibbling away at my lead.
You've lost a little time to the car behind.
It's not much, but he is getting closer and closer. I skipped 1 lap, so I go to lap 12 regardless. 1.5, so he copped me by 2/10 in that lap. So they all win the time over me in that little sector there, because if you're slow, I got pit by the way now, lap 12, and Alonso goes with me. I always find it very risky to pit alongside with the AA cars, because you're always being downsized more than the AI cars seem to be when you have to wait. So there's a Mercedes, and Alonso gets out first, and I have to wait, even though there was more than enough time for me to be released. The game takes an extra big safety margin, so lost out on that. And especially significant since Alonso is now on the options, and I switch to the harder tyres. Get out just in front of Perez, so I don't have to worry about overtaking slower driver. Kimi pits after me.
The car ahead is running the option tyre.
So
have trouble closing the gap
in this stint, Alonso's going to have the advantage. The time difference between me, I was not quick enough. I'm confident I was able to keep up with him easily. So here we are, lap 14. I do set a faster sector, but of course, you know, that doesn't really mean much. 2.4 seconds actually behind Alonso. So we're going to the third sector. tail is actually not lit up yet. Not dark enough to do so, I suppose. You can start to see the glare of the setting sun. Slowly gonna reach night time.
Looks like the car ahead is trying to create a gap. He's running full red, maximum power.
Alonso 1:45.238 versus more 1:45.645. 2.2 seconds is the gap, so I did gain on a bit, and this is good for me. Some back markers to help close the gap. There's a Marussia off the track that looked to be Max Chilton. And he will be able to continue his race. Past my fellow Dutchman on the outside, going on to the start-finish straight. Here to reduce the gap to 1.1 seconds. Full throttle. No need to lift. Actually, stay on line though. A little bit of lock up, nothing fancy. I have to go on the outside of peak. And if I can get in front of Alonso and block him for the remainder of the stint, that will be good for my chances later on when I'll be running on the options at some point, although he's going to be on primes. There we go. Too far back to do anything, unfortunately. Alonso locks up. I'm too far back. I'm hoping to be able to stay with him. Lap 17. Within 8 tenths. So within the DRS zone again. It goes a bit wide.
Okay, it looks like the car ahead is trying to create a gap. He's running
using all my
full
curves.
red, maximum power.
Just to see what I can do. I'm catching him. Closer and closer. It's too far back looking. Nope. Can't outbrake the man. Or do not really dare to at this point. Mess up the exit with no curves left. I'm going to be too far away to attempt anything here in the upcoming corner. We'll get a purple sector time. Alonso goes wide. I was too far away to snatch an opportunity there, so I have to wait a little bit longer. I'm able to follow pace to go back on the first. Now there's a couple of poor corners. Allows Alonso to put a bit of a gap, but not enough though. 7 tenths now.
Carry on with the job you're doing.
Lap 18 a lot later then, so. Probably a bit too much wheel spin. Decide to save someone like Kurz. See if I can do anything on the next straight. As I mess up the exit, I lose more ground. The DRS helped to minimize it a little bit, but 6 tenths behind. So that later now the gap is 1.4 seconds and I get a warning.
Keep pushing.
Cutting the entry to the chicane. First warning of the race. If I'm not mistaken. So no harm, no foul at this point. Moving on. Later on in lap 19. Closing up again. keeping this battle interesting. Slowly on the edge of my seat when I was driving with him at this point. And I set the fastest lap. So it seems the switch point is arrived. His option tyres are slowing down. 1:45, 1:91 is the current best lap of the race.
Well as I've ever seen.
Then more back markers. Marusha again. Bianchi on 18th at the moment. Managed to slip by him without losing too much time to Alonso because I want to stay close to him. We're about as quick it seems at this stage. I'm a little bit sneaky. Cut that corner a bit, but I don't get warning. So very inconsistent penalty system again. Corner where I can actually win quite a bit of time. Doesn't give you as much as a warning. So this is a corner. I get a couple laps on, but I mess up to the entry, going a bit too deep to the first part of that area. Meaning I have to wait now. Same area again. Leonardo. Go a bit wide. Trying to, because I don't want to get stuck behind the back marker. Alonso has escaped a little bit again, but he's going into the pit lane now, lap 24, so he's done 12 laps again. I'll take first position. As you can see, it's getting darker and darker. Right now, I fear that the performance will give out on me. There you go. Cut a little bit of curb and lose the car almost. Tyres starting to lose grip to begin with, but the cooler conditions are not working with me for these tyres. And again the backhand steps out, so these tyres are not working well for me. I'm losing a lot of time. Alonso is in second place already. He sets the fastest lap, lap 27. The gap is 7 seconds, and it was around 11, 12 before, so I'm losing a lot of time here. I can't pit too soon because the options are not going to last. So there you go, one lap. He reduced it by 2 seconds. He's coming at me with frightening speed at the moment. Lap 28. What's going to happen now? Go a bit wide on the braking. Mr. Chicane goes slow enough that I don't get a warning. Gap is down to 4.2 at that point. 29, 2.7. I've got a severe lack of grip and it's really harming me in that stadium section, the third sector. There he goes, already behind me, as you can see, lap 29, the lap before my pit stop. And this time I'm not gonna wait a lap longer. Get a little bit of a safety margin because I'm losing way too much, like half a second there. A little bit later on then, I'd skip ahead onto the main straight. Switching to high mix. All my cursed and I don't want to let him slip by. Gaining even more of an advantage on me because he's already a pit stop ahead of me at this point. I can't see what tires he's on going from the mirrors from the point of view. There's not enough detail in it. Lap 30 now. Some guys are in the way. Gutierrez. Some avoiding action for Gutierrez. Got the corner, get a warning. It's alright. Gutierrez goes aside, letting Alonso back by. Let's sneak on the inside of the Resta. Right before the stadium section where they can't really pass. Alonso tries to overtake. Gets a little bit aggressive there with Gutierrez, so they're having a bit of a push around there. Which is great for me. Wins back some of the time that I've lost, but then this happens. Lack of grip and I can't make the turn. The car gets reset. There you see Alonso go just ahead of me. And I easily lose about 4 or 5 seconds there extra. So that little advantage that I had gone, plus a little bit more. 7 seconds is the gap already on the finish line, so that's not going to hurt. Again, have to wait a little bit. It just sort of works out for the Mercedes there. So just get out on pit road again. Dropping down to 4th place.
Watch out as you rejoin the track. We've put a new set of the option tyres on the car. That leaves just one stop remaining.
So back out on the road again. It's very, oh, there we go. He brakes very hard before the corner. Evade him just about.
Will be stopping in 3 laps time.
Switch it to high mix. My first clean lap. These new rubber. Just enough grip to keep it in 3rd. 8.8 seconds is the gap to Rosberg. The Sauber gets out behind me just. Not gonna hold me up.
You're not racing the car ahead. He's gonna have to move over and let you pass.
Really close there. No warning though on the entry of the chicane. Get an extra toe. We don't get to see that far. A little bit later on in the lap though. 32 actually, to be honest, sorry. Bam! Fastest lap. 142, 383. It's back in my hands again.
Great work. That's a new fastest lap for the race.
Got a little bit wide there, as you can see, even though in 2nd gear. It's the corner where I lose out. It's the biggest corner on this track for me for some reason. There's a lack of grip there. Working hard, and boom, cutting too much, and immediately get a penalty. I think I only had 1 or 2 warnings there, just as I cut up with Rosberg.
Drive-through penalty for repeated corner cutting. Box in the next 3 laps.
So, bumper that, but it was my own fault. You could clearly see I cut that corner by way too much. My car was completely on the inside of the curb, not even on it. So that would give me a penalty. I'm in within the DRS range of Rosberg though. Carrying a lot more speed. He goes to the inside and trying to push me out. He'll make a little bit of contact. But I make the pass around the outside anyway.
You're in 3rd. Times will be slightly slower than normal.
There we are. And I cut that corner by just a tiny, tiny margin. My inside tire is slightly inside the white line. So I get a 2nd penalty while still having to serve my 1st one. And you can see me coming in for that penalty now. So that's another 10-second loss. It is a relatively short pit lane, so you lose about 10-11 seconds doing this. Let's say we go a bit wide. There goes yeah, 1 car again. I think Rosberg is pitting alongside me there.
Watch out for traffic as you rejoin the track.
Down to 5th, Hamilton passes me. Clear a button though by using he's 21 seconds behind. Nice, keep driving aggressively. I'm half annoyed by the double penalty. That was less clear than the first one. I think I looked in the replay before this edit. You can see I did cut the corner. So here we go again. Disaster. Steer in too soon, and basically the same thing what happens with the 2nd one, just steered in too soon, cut it just over the white line on the inside, and basically the same thing happens again. Another penalty before I served the 2nd one, so that's about somewhere around 30-33 seconds lost there.
We believe the car ahead is running standard revs.
So lap later, I take my third one. Managed to avoid a second penalty.
Spare fuel. You should
Or fourth, I
consider
mean.
turning up the engine for a few laps.
I'm not sure after how many penalties the game decides to disqualify you anyway, but at least you can take 3 penalties in close proximity of each other. And I wonder how the 2014 version of this game will implement the new penalty systems, like the 5-second stop and go, so to speak. 5-second time penalty, which you can include with the pit stop. So back out on track. Some 2 laps before my actually planned pit stop, so I visited the pits quite a bit. I cut it very close again, straight out of the box, so I'm risking it. But I need to be careful. 14 seconds is the gap. So today's tyres are not at their best anymore, as you can see from the little wobble. But they were good enough to last an extra lap, lap 43. And going into the box. Down to lean mix. The ball's coming out as well. To the Lotus pit box. Final stop. 6th place.
There's some traffic at the pit exit. Watch out as you rejoin the track.
I'm wondering what I can redeem from this race. Surely didn't help myself. I've got some spare fuel left. You see another little bit of a hairy moment there with the car. This time I hit the back of him. No damage, thank God. And no further penalties either. A full-on stomp on the brakes before that corner. You should have expected if you just throw along and then go out the side. Doop. 45, 10 laps to go. Final stage of the race, improved the fast lap to 142.259. Nice to have that in hand at least. Can't have the podium. But Vettel's just a tad quicker with a 142.232, so only by a couple of 200ths of a second, more or less. Takes that fastest lap. So a lap later, I'm 3/10 quicker than the previous lap.
4 seconds to the next car. Push, push.
That should be enough. Button is catching Button quite rapidly actually. 4.1 seconds is that gap. It's fully dark now, the hotel is looking quite beautiful. The track now.
Fuel is looking okay, but we'll keep an eye on it.
There you go, 141.924. Surely that'll be enough. 3/10 quicker. Vettel has passed Perez behind me, actually. And nope! Again! By only 2,000ths of a second. He nicks the fastest lap away from me. So I really want that lap actually back. But I can't do it right now. Button is ahead of me. Nice and light over those curbs. Just want to get myself closer to Button. So there's a moment soon where I can go a bit wide. That lean mix when I was behind him, save a bit of fuel. Section where I can't make a pass anyway. I get a good exit here, he just sticks to the inside. And I brake quite a bit later. I take him on the outside and he has to slow all the way down to make the corner. Into 5th place. 21 seconds is the gap to Rosberg. Nope, correction. 13 seconds. This is the gap. To Rosberg. In space of a couple of laps, so maybe able to catch him just before the end of the race.
We might need to think about moving to fuel mix mode 2 in the next few laps.
51. Very good first sector. 10 seconds. Crept about 3 seconds in one lap there. There's a Caterham in front of me. That's strange driving for 5th place, 4th place. Especially since the car has the speed to go for a win. Get the puzzle going just before this corner, which is good, so he won't help me up. Get a good exit for a change here. Nice and stable. A second quicker than my previous lap. 9 seconds. Rosberg. That's much. Basically, what the difference was with Alonso on the better rubber as well in this sector, especially. You need the grip through these 90-degree corners. What time do we get? A 1:41.555. Now that will definitely snatch the fastest lap away from Sebastian Vettel. Put it into my hands. So there you go. At least got that. No extra points though, but
lap of the race. Keep that up.
nice to have at least that. 6.7 is now the gap. Lap 52. So we're looking at another slight improvement somehow at 1:41.512. That just slipped off half a tenth out the previous lap. Get back to Rich. Using a bit of risky on the fuel strategy just to try to catch Rosberg at 53, and there you can see him ahead of me already, 1.4 seconds.
Final couple of laps. If you're going to pass this guy, it needs to be
distance. Hopefully sooner rather than later. So much better on the brakes here. Look at that gap coming down.
That's Rosberg. Go for the overtake.
There he is. He lacks the grip. He's only primes. I had a bit of wheel spin, but I quickly already got out of accelerating him. Check the DRS. And then breeze past the Mercedes driver. Actually, that's 4th. Look at that hotel over there. It's very, very nice. Pass down 12 seconds to Hamilton, or Webber actually. It's too far to catch though, but look at that. Still managed to go from 12 seconds to 7 seconds. There you go, Alonso crosses the finish line. Let's see how far I'm behind him at the end of the race. Where I could have been with all that time lost. I'm not gonna catch Webber. As I crossed the finish line in 4th. Decent salvage from a race where I got myself 3 penalties. And let's see, I am in 4th. 24 seconds behind Alonso, so if I didn't have the penalties, I would be out in front of him by at least 6 seconds. So, unfortunately, but it's my own fault. So Alonso takes the win with Lewis 2nd and Mark Webber taking another podium in 3rd. Then it's Nico in 5th, Sebastian in 6th, then Jensen 7th, Kimi in 8th, And Nico and Hülkenberg in 9th, and Massa gets the last point in this race in 10th place. There we see the rest go by. Gutierrez just outside the points in 11th, and we had one DNF very late on in the race, which was Perez, who didn't make the finish line. So there you have it, one DNF. And bam! You see a little steam tap, and that actually means the Constructors is also for me, for the Lotus F1 team, which is great. 77 points ahead of Lewis Hamilton, of course. I've already secured the championship, Drivers' Championship last time out. And there you see, 87-point gap. Mercedes is alongside Ferrari for 2nd place, and I needed to be 86 points ahead, so I've got the championship secured by 1 point, so I don't have to finish any of the races in the points, neither me or Kimi, and we'd still have it. So we've got the double on season 1. Thank you for watching. 2 more races to go. Maybe I'll do races where I start from the back and see how far I can climb up, but maybe I'll just do the best that I can regardless from where I am. So, thank you for watching. See you guys for the next one in Circuit of the Americas. Bye bye.